Hi, this is James Gordon here for Furry Book Review. Today's book we're talking about today, Flung by Utunu. This was published by Mapaku Village in 2024. This is the author's second novel after his debut novel with the Rafts of the previous year, and I was really disappointed with this novel. Despite this gorgeous cover artwork on this book, I really like the artwork on this cover, but I was really let down with this novel. It was not good at all. I thought the idea of these psychic characters that live on this desert planet I thought was interesting, but I just felt that there was not enough more to offer in this story. I felt the author really didn't flesh out the plot, the characters that much, and there really wasn't really anything else in this novel that I liked. It was just kind of very simple and basic, and as I read this, it started to remind me of another bad furry novel I read on the channel, Architect of Sleep, which that novel had a very similar problem to that this one had, and a whole bunch of other things I didn't like, and yeah, overall, I really did not enjoy this novel. I was really bored with it, and I was just reading through it as much as I could last night to get through it, and nothing, it doesn't improve, nothing gets better. I just didn't like this novel. I'll explain during my review the many issues and problems I have with this novel, and the reasons why I didn't like it. And I'm really hoping that when Utunu goes to write his next novel, he doesn't do the same formula as he did with Flung. I'm really hoping he goes back to the way he wrote Rafts, because Rafts was a really good book. This sadly was not. All right, onto the book review. And spoiler, I will give away crucial details within the story. Plot. On the desert planet Sands, in the settlement called Oasis, lives a group of fences and hyena people, apartment-like complexes that are close to each other. Bori and his lover Tether, both fences, and their hyena friend Samna have grown up on Sands as they travel to the caves mining for crystals to bring back to Bori's mother, who works in the lab and uses it as resources for money to buy them food and supplies they need. Bori isn't just any fence. He is gifted with psionic powers that allow him to communicate to Tether through his mind, along with transporting them across the desert with his Flung, allowing them to easily bring back crystals and other gear, saving them time. However, using these powers makes Bori tired and has to rest. There is a neighboring forest planet, Verdant, that sees psionics as very valuable in return for supplies. The shuttle always takes the strongest psionics with them, but they are never seen again. Bori is dreading the day the shuttle comes for him, as he doesn't want to be separated from his boyfriend Tether and friend Samna. Bori wonders if he can hide his powers to avoid being taken, or find a place in the sands to hide. After returning with a massive haul of crystals to Bori's mother, as this brings them many supplies and gear, the gang plans to travel further to find more crystals, but to hide their stash, since they can only bring back so much with the Flung ability. The gang enjoys traveling the desert and watching the stars at night. While out traveling, the gang visits a spot known as the Scar, a crater from a shuttle crash that killed many people, including several psionics. They go to check it out, but leave when Bori suddenly hears the cries and screams of those who died. They leave and return to their campsite, with Tether helping his lover to heal from what he felt. Later in the night, Tether and Bori invite Samna to have sex for fun, as they've been together for so long, which they all enjoy it. When the shuttle appears, Bori plans to hide out in the desert to avoid being taken by Assares, with Tether and Samna agreeing to stay together. They plan to wait it out till the shuttle is gone, as they'll be staying on Sands for a few days. However, their plan fails when they return back home and are called to join a big dinner, with Assares being there, with one Gurn wanting to test both Bori and Tether. They try sneaking off the next day in Sama's house, but with Gurn waiting for him. Tether is tested first with a device placed on his head, with Bori trying to hide his powers along with Tether, as this causes it to give false readings. Gurn visits Bori's mother, who reveals how strong and powerful his son is. When the jig is up, Bori gives in but refuses to go to Vernet unless Tether and Samna come along. Well, Gurn is willing to accept Tether, but fears Sama won't fit in the shuttle, with Boris's mother fussing him to go along with it, but refuses. Gurn agrees to Bori's deal, as if they don't go, this would cause tension between the two planets as they need their resources. As the three friends get ready for their trip and saying goodbye to their parents with Gurn waiting for them at the shuttle to take them to Vernet, what deadly wonders await the three friends when they arrive, and what is Gurn hiding from them? Will they be trapped on Vernet forever, or can they flung themselves out just in time? Flung was a dull, boring, and mostly unexciting novel, despite the interesting concept of characters with psionic powers, but not much else is shown or happens within this novel, and was greatly disappointed by it. Felt there wasn't much to the story, as it was so simple and basic with no added filler or extra detail to make it more interesting. Characters felt flat with no personality to them, and there isn't many that are featured within this story. The settlement in the Sands Oasis felt plain with nothing interesting about it other than some buildings placed in the middle of the desert, and that's it. No mining machines or spaceports or anything else. Many scenes felt futurist with little detail, and there were only 2 arthropod species in this novel, as I thought I would see others, but didn't get any. And there doesn't seem to be any police force or patrols on this planet, as I was wondering how do these people defend themselves from hostile threats or crime. All the work that is shown is just people collecting crystals and bringing them back to have them checked out by scientists to see how valuable they are, and that's it. There also isn't any vehicles on this planet other than shuttles used for space travel, so how do these people bring food and supplies to others? The only means of getting from one place on this planet is with either on foot or with the Flung ability. We never see any of the settlers doing anything else within this novel. The 3 main characters, Bori, Tether, and Sama, do is mining for crystals, hanging out in the desert, watching the stars at night, and having sex with each other. However, none of the sex scenes are featured, and felt the author was trying to be too PG with it, which I didn't like. I really felt these characters should be doing more with their lives, as they have all this high-tech stuff, but no video games, TV, books to read, or anything else to do other than just mine for crystals, hang out, and eat food. I also didn't like how Utunu wrote the psionic thoughts the characters have with each other, as they felt like text messages. When the shuttle from Vernet does arrive, there isn't a military force or some evil person demanding the citizens hand over their resources. No, it's just a simple trade with taking anyone with psionic powers in exchange for food, water, and other gear, which seems to be the only planet that's trading with them. And yet everyone is fine with this, even if it means losing a friend, a family member, or loved one. When Bori and his 2 friends plan to hide from the assassins by laying low in the desert, the game just allows itself to be found during a dinner party, and there isn't any resistance, no threats or being forced to go, just simply doing a test and they're set off on another planet. When they get to Vernet, it's just like Oasis, a forest with some buildings, and that's it, nothing else. And when it's revealed why Gurn won't allow anyone with the highest psionic powers to leave is very lame, as all he wants is to do is create clones of the perfect being and to double the strength of his powers by draining it out of Bori. That's it, no Grandmaster plan or twist ending. Oh, and Sana at one point suddenly gains psionic powers while on Vernet and knows how to use them without any training. The writing structure was decent, but felt the pacing could get slow at times, with the psionic thoughts between the characters could have been better written, and found some of the words difficult to read at times with the font that was used. Wish it was a more clear font to read. I really felt this novel could have been a lot better had Utunu put more thought into the plot, gave the characters more in personality and things to do with other characters to interact with, along with developing a more creative world setting than what I got. And a better grand finale with a villain would have made this novel more interesting if the plot was better fleshed out. Getting some more action and seeing the sex scenes would have been better too. Overall, I don't recommend Flung, not one of the best furry novels I have read, as it doesn't have much to offer it, as you can find more interesting choices than this one. And that is it for the review today. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, this was not a good book at all. Like I said, I really liked Utunu's first novel, Rafts, a lot. His second novel, it was not that good. As I said, it could have been a lot better. One major issue I have with this book is that it is very featureless. There's hardly anything in this book. So, like in The Architect of Sleep, when we first are shown where these 3 main characters live, they basically live in this one spot in the desert that has like some like apartment like complexes that's what they all live in, and that's it. There's no restaurants. There's no uh, like like other buildings. There's no other buildings. There's no garages. There's like no junkyards. There's nothing. Not even a spaceport, and it's very featureless. So the thing is, it's like a big sandbox. You have this big sandbox. You place one thing in the center of it, and then the rest of it is just open desert. And I really don't not like when offers do that. I like it when they add more to it. So there's more places to things to look at in the book than just one building, like a few buildings. That's it. So this Oasis settlement is very futuristic because there's no other buildings other than these what was it, like hexagon like apartment buildings, and that's it. And as I'm reading this, I'm thinking, wait a minute, what else do these characters do? Like, is there anything else to do besides mining for crystals and just seeing how valuable they are? No, there's no other jobs featured in this book, and there's no vehicles, so characters have no means of transportation other than either traveling on foot or using the Flung ability. That's it. There's no vehicles of any kind, and I'm thinking to myself, how do you travel on this planet if you have to get somewhere if you don't have the Flung ability? And what's to defend this planet if it was under attack or if there was a criminal among the loose? Like, there's no police force, there's no patrols or any kind, there's none of that. And this is another plot hole I have with this book. There's only one planet that they're training with, which is the forest planet Vermont, and that's the only planet that they're training with. That's it. There's no other planets. I'm like, there should be more than just one planet here. This is, if you're training with one planet, that's not really a good thing. As I said, the three main characters, they're kind of dull. Like they're all friendly with each other and stuff, which is fine and all, but they don't really seem to have a personality. They just I kind of felt that they all acted the same. Like they all had kind of like the same kind of vibe with each other, and that was it. Like there was sure there was a few differences between the three of them, but they just didn't really feel that much interesting. It's just they kind of felt the same. And this really annoys me when I'm reading a book when sex scenes are not featured and they're off screen. That really annoys me, and I really didn't understand why the author was trying to be like PG almost with these scenes. Like, I don't get it. In Rafts, you showed every sex scene, and I enjoyed that. However, in Flung, it's the character. You see the characters leading up to the moment they have sex, and there's even a part where I think what was it? Bori or Tether, they communicate each other with their thoughts, and then they commented how big Sema is, and I'm like, why couldn't you show the scene? Why couldn't you show it? Why did you tease us there with that one scene? Oh, the hyena, it has a big cock. Why couldn't you show that? And this was another thing I noticed. It seems after they have sex, they're perfectly clean. They're not dirty. They're instantly clean after having sex. And I just found these scenes annoying. Yeah. So all these characters do in this novel is they just go out to the desert, mine for crystals, bring them back for resources, and then they go back out in the desert just to watch the stars and fool around. And that's it. I thought, don't these characters have anything else to do? Like, this book is set far in the future. Like, it's what year is this book set in? Okay, this is set in the year 3308. So that's very far in the future, and I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna obviously have like some things to do, like if they're this far in the future. Nope. No TV, no video games, no books, nothing. There's nothing for these characters to do, and I was like, wait a minute, they have all this high-tech gear to produce clean water to shower in, stuff to bring back crystals, suits to protect them from sandstorms, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and medical gear. But that's it. There's no like stuff for them to do or to pass time. I was like, if your book, like if you got a book set far in the future, there should obviously be like some high tech stuff for the characters to do. And if they don't have it, then explain it better. Like, I just felt the author was not explaining this world that well. He was just, here's the characters, this is what they do, and that's it. You gotta do better than that. So the one plot point in this book is that the Sonic characters are constantly being traded with supplies with the neighboring planet, so that people can survive on this planet, because there's no crops, there's no farms or any kind. Or that was another thing I noticed in this book. There's no like labs or buildings that grows like vegetables, fruit, and stuff, or a place that produces food. You don't see any of that. It does mention they eat chicken and lamb, and I believe beef jerky as well. But that's like the one food source that they get from the other planet. But their planet doesn't have like a place that grows vegetables and crops. I thought, where is that? Like come on, if you have a settlement somewhere on a planet, you need to have a building that's growing vegetables and food and producing, clean water and stuff for people to survive on. Like, if you have to rely on another neighboring planet to bring the other planet resources to trade, that's not going to work out well. People are going to go starving. And plus, what happens if this planet Sans had no psionic people left? That basically means the other planet isn't going to trade with them. So that was another plot hole I saw with this book. And then when the shuttle from Vermont lands on the planet, I'm thinking, okay, is it going to be like some military force that demands them to hand over the resources? Is that why there's all this dread when they show up? No, it's just basically a bunch of fences and some other hyena characters, and all they simply want is just for the people on Sans to simply trade in their crystal resources, and they'll in return give them food and whatever, everything else, but they have to give them people with sonic powers, and that's it. There's no like there's no tension between these two sides. There isn't like any hostility or resistance. It's just a simple, okay, we accept the trade, and that's it. What? You're telling me that people are okay with this? And the fact that after they do the trade, the people that go to this other planet, they can't come back? What? You're fine with this? No, this is not right. And then the characters have this plan to avoid the assayers, to avoid being detected, but their whole plan just falls apart, and it's like they don't even try to get out of the town. They just accept being like captured, like not captured. They just accept being discovered by the assailers and just go along with it. There's no resistance or like any fighting. It's like everyone's like a little too cheery and happy in this book. So when they do get to the other planet, Vermont, this forest planet, it's just the same thing as the Summon Oasis. It's just, here's this big forest planet, and in the center is a bunch of buildings, and that's it. There's nothing else. There's a lab and I believe a crystal library that has like data and stuff from history and some other places, but that's it. There's some mountains around them. There with snow. I believe there's a waterfalls that's mentioned, but we're never seen that, and that's it. There's nothing else. And I was thinking to myself, I thought I was going to see buildings where they're producing these resources, and I was going to be like, why can't they have these on Sans, so that way people don't have to keep trading crystals? Just build the resources. So then the characters are just doing their normal thing, and Boris and Tether are being tested with their Flung ability, and then at one point Sama suddenly gets psionic powers just beyond the planet, and he knows how to use it, and he begins communicating with his friends instantly. I was like, what? But by far the worst thing of this, the worst thing with this novel is the ending. We then find out why Gurren won't allow people with psionic powers to leave the planet. As it turns out, he wants to keep breeding more of these sonic people, as I guess the numbers are dropping. Again, it's not explained in the novel. So he approaches Bori, who is the strongest, and asks if he can have a sperm sample, and he's very uncomfortable with this. And then in the book, he gets knocked out, and then Tether and Sama feel something's wrong, so they go looking for their friend. And then when they find him, Gurren is in the process of, spoiler alert, has him hooked up to this like machine, and he's attempting to drain all the power out of him so he can become stronger. And that's his master plan. He just wants to be stronger than him. Oh, and to make clones of him so he can like create like the perfect being or an army. But it's not explained. And then when these characters confront him, finally there's some like hostility finally, as everyone's being too damn cheery and happy. So there is a part where they do confront the character, but the finale isn't anything grand or spectacular. And I was like, really, this is how you're going to end the book? And I was really disappointed with this book. I just thought, okay, you have some interesting ideas, but you could have fleshed them out better. You could have improved the plot, added more to the story, added some more detail and filler so you could expand upon the story, build it up, the suspense to build up to like a big grand finale. And as I noticed more problems with this book, I really found it difficult to read it as I was thinking to myself, how is this possible? This story is even progressive with all these plot holes and all these like problems and issues that I'm having with this book. How is this? How does this world even function? Like, to me, it shouldn't function, because if you're trading with only one planet, you have to sacrifice trading people with psionic powers for supplies to this one planet, and everyone seems to be fine with this, and yet there's nothing else to do on this planet. I just had so many problems with this book, and I was even thinking to myself, what if someone's like lost someone and had a mental breakdown and went on a killing spree? What's going to stop that? What's going to protect these people? There's no, like I said, there's no law enforcement. There's no like patrols. There's nothing, and there's no weapons. There's like this planet, like both planets don't have any weapons. It's like the only, sure, they probably could like probably fist fight and stuff, and then there's the Flung ability, but that's it. There's nothing else. I just thought that this book could have been so much better. So overall, I did not enjoy Far Flung, and I'm hoping when I go to read Utunu's collection of short stories, Echoes, I'll hopefully like that a lot better than his second novel. I was actually, after I was done reading the book and then written my review, there's this other YouTube channel that did a review of Far Flung, and I was curious to see if this person had the same opinion as I did, so I watched it, and it was the polar opposite. This person enjoyed the book, but hey, as the old say, we can't like everything. But I did not enjoy this book at all. I felt it could have been a lot better. And then the guy mentioned the author has a sequel in the works, and I'm like, I am not interested in reading that. I would rather read something completely different from this novel. I'm hoping that when Utunu goes to write his next novel, a solo novel, or something else, he goes back to the way he wrote Rafts, because I like how he wrote Rafts. I liked how the book starts off with an opening scene. We follow this character, and then we see how how this in Rafts how this tsunami destroys this village, and then the main character wakes up in the middle of the ocean. He swims towards a raft, and there's the second character, Shima. And then we follow these two characters together. Then they reach an island, and we're following them as they're trying to survive together on this island, and they form a bond. And that I like. That I really liked. You follow these two characters, and I felt this is like the story build up, and it got better. And not once does Arthur cut away from the sex scenes. Far Flung was the polar opposite. He is trying to be too clean with it, and I just felt he was trying to be too clean with this novel. And I really wish he stuck with how he wrote Rafts, because if he did the same writing format with Far Flung, it might have come out better. And oh yeah, and another thing, in the beginning of the book, unlike Rafts that has this opening scene and like kind of like an intro, Far Flung doesn't have an opening scene. It throws you right into the three main characters as they're mining in a cave, and that's it. There's no like opening scene to introduce these characters. It just throws you right into it. So I'm hoping that with Utunu's Echoes I'll like a lot better, and hopefully his next novel I'll enjoy as well, hopefully. Alright, that's for the review today. Hope you enjoyed it, and please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to October Library, the YouTube channel where I post book reviews and other fiction-related content. Until then, I'll catch you later.